871.
All right. Hi there. My name is Phil Burse, and as soon as I could walk, I was playing sports. As soon as I could see, I was watching sports. If you knew me at all, you know I'm really into sports. It's one of the prerequisites of being a man, just like playing COD. So let me ask you guys a few questions real quick. Who here thinks that football is a sport? Just give me an eye.
Aye.
Everybody. Tennis.
Aye.
Okay. Now it's going to get tougher. Golf.
Yeah.
Aye. NASCAR?
No.
I hear some no's over there. Bowling.
Aye.
Billiards.
Aye.
All right, so those are getting kind of debatable at the end there. So all of those activities are shown on ESPN, which is supposedly an all-sports network. But that's not true, though. They have the National Scrabble Tournament on ESPN. The World Series of Poker is on ESPN. And the Spelling Bee is on ESPN. Okay, so that's not very convincing at all. Some may say that if it's a paid, competitive activity, it's a sport. But that includes the National Hot Dog Eating Contest. And that gets you fat, which is usually never a good thing. So the way we define sports today has become so loose in American society that almost any activity can be defined as a sport. It is not fair to put football and soccer on the same level as NASCAR and golf. There's such a difference there. Therefore, there must be tiers of sports putting each one in the category that they deserve. So first, I will show each tier and give the qualifications for it. Then I'll give you some examples of each one. First, let's begin with Tier 1. So qualification of Tier 1 is offense and defense. Another qualification of Tier 1 is physical activity. So physical. Physically enduring, physically it requires strength. This one is really important. It involves contact between the offense and the defense. So let me give you guys some examples of some Tier 1 sports. Football, very intense sport. Wrestling, we have basketball, soccer. Those are all examples of Tier 1 sports. And you may be thinking about the offensive line for football. Those men are massive men. They're 350 pounds. You think they're not fit for that position. How can they be in a Tier 1 sport and be so big? But there's something called the chest to gut ratio. If the chest to gut ratio is over 1, it's legit. They're Tier 1 athletes. Alright, moving on to Tier 2. So this is where the definition gets a little less loose for sports. It's the same as Tier 1, except there is sometimes there's no offense and defense, and there's no physical contact between the teams. None of that. So, some examples of Tier 2 sports would be tennis. There's no contact between them, but there is offense and defense. Running, swimming, track and field, biking, cross-country skiing. Just a few examples of Tier 2 sports. Now, before we move on to Tier 3, I want to discuss baseball real quick. So baseball has all the requirements of Tier 2. You need physical strength, there's offense and defense, that helps it out. But when it comes to physically enduring, it gets a little weak. That's this thing of the outfielder, for example. The game lasts about 2.5 hours, and let's say during the course of the game, he runs for about 8 to 10 balls max in the outfield, and he's batting 250. He'll have 1 hit a game, so he'll run around the bases 1 time. So after some brutal calculations, he runs for about 1 minute during the game. That's not very much. So I decided that baseball, not a Tier 2 sport, but it's right here in the middle. Tier 2 and Tier 3. So it'd be there for baseball. Alright, now let's move on to Tier 3. This is pretty easy to define as well. There's barely any physical contact, no offense and defense. It does take some amount of skill, and so that's why it's a Tier 3 sport. Some Tier 3 sports would be fishing, downhill skiing, bowling, and I'd even say bocce ball, which is a family favorite. So those are the 3 tiers. Now, before I conclude, you might be thinking, this guy's a nut. What is he talking about? He didn't even mention golf or NASCAR in either of these tiers. So first, let's discuss an answer. All right. So I asked one of my friend's parents, who's a big NASCAR fan. So I asked him, so sir, why do you think NASCAR is a sport? And after thinking, he said, well, you have to be in pretty decent shape to drive a car like that. And it can get pretty hot in there as well. And not to be rude, I thought this to myself. You got to be in decent shape to grab the beer in the back of the fridge. And it's pretty hot in the dishes, too. So that didn't make any sense to me. So I don't think NASCAR is a sport. Let's move on to golf. This is an easy one. There's one simple rule that proves why golf is not a sport. If you can smoke and you can drink while playing it, it's not a sport.
There you go.
No ifs, ands, buts about it. However, all this evidence, who can put golf and NASCAR on the same level as football and soccer? It just defies all the laws of physics, just everything in life in general. Each sport is put on its equal tier, giving it no more or no less credit than it deserves. As you leave this class, as you finish this speech, I leave with these wise words said by my grandpa about sports. This can also go beyond sports as well in your life. He told me, be strong, Phil, for strength will help you break things. Thank you.
Okay, strength, weakness.
Strength. I sounded confident. I got the class involved. Some too much. Some are too involved. Weakness. I might have had weak visuals. I'm a simple man, so.
Okay. A comment? Matt. I heard Matt. He was there.
I'll take two of them this time.
I completely agree about golf, Phil. That's your strength. Analyze each sport very well. Weakness. You didn't move around much. And you were talking to the board a lot. The fun thing is, yeah, you were kind of like boxing at the table.
All right.
Okay, does somebody really want to say something else?
Yeah.
Okay, we can take two more and then that's it for him. I heard, who is over here now? Go ahead.
He's a
Okay.
monster. That's what that really is.
You did. It was really nice that you were able to write everything down and show us. But I heard a contradiction. You said if you can smoke and drink, it's not a sport. But you said golf, or you said that fishing was in tier 3.
Okay.
I can definitely smoke and
Oh,
drink.
logical error. Good one. I like that. 10 points for Steph.
Thanks about a lot of sports.
You can drink on the sidelines.
But no one does though. Have you ever seen a game where they're drinking and smoking?
But baseball, if you're drunk, you really can't run straight to the bait.
Okay. All right. Here we go. You got your strengths. Obviously, your ethos. You're passionate about this. You enjoyed giving this a tongue-in-cheek, humorous speech. It is a shame that you die soon because some of these guys are just going to wipe you out, or your tires are going to get slashed. It's okay. I enjoyed knowing you, and it was nice having you in my class. And when I see your name in the Kenosha News or something for your funeral, I'll be there. Okay.
We'll do your eulogy, yeah.
Many of us are qualified and we'll all get up there. Cite resources of someone or something or some American group or some sporting group or anything that actually agrees with you in this premise. And the quote, there is a chest to gut ratio. Devised by who? Is this you? You and there's something called a chest to gut ratio, and you said it in a very formalized way. So I see no supporting evidence, and of course people have fallen a little Gaussian, lax in there. But you know what? It entertained, and it did exactly. It was really nice, good audience analysis for the last speech. I got to take off for some things, but I give you credit for other things. You really